Beat this just once. What's up, George? How's it going, man? I'm gonna give you a call after this broadcast, so look for my phone call. It's just a heads up, bro. Um, we need to catch up more, so I will call you shortly after I'm done here. So just want to make sure my YouTube is rolling, which it is. So we're live both on Instagram and on our YouTube channel. Cool. And if you don't follow us on our YouTube, it is Project Fresh LLC. That is our channel. In fact, I can just go ahead and show you guys real quick. In case you guys do YouTube, we'll aim for some more long form content, but there's our handle in that particular case. So just a heads up for anybody who's on YouTube as well. All right, so today, this again, just a quick recap for those that don't know about us. This is our weekly broadcast, our Monday Lunch Live. The focus for this particular broadcast is, one, keep us consistent with communicating with you, our community, but also, and it's really a part of me, accountability. I want to continue to grow our reach and get more people, or get connected with more people who are looking for what we have to offer, what we do effectively. And so we do this every Monday, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're in the mountains in Denver. So that's 1 hour ahead of California and 2 hours behind New York, or an hour behind Chicago if you're in the Midwest. And so, yep, every week we've done this now for several months. I'm actually quite excited for that. We've had that amount of consistency and just really, really excited about it. So today's focus is consistency. And I want to share a few things kind of leading into that topic. We did our first round, my wife and I, of the 5-day reset with our partner Shakti last week. And it went okay. It wasn't bad. It was good in the context of we got ourselves reset with what we need to do for the year. And by okay, usually this is the point in time where you hear somebody say, I lost 7.5 pounds in a week and I'm feeling so much better. And I'm and they like, all that stuff, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to kind of switch the what should I say, the visor, the focal point, the perspective. That is good, but it can create a lifestyle of in and out versus consistency. I hope that makes sense. And so by that, I think I lost 2.4 pounds of fat and put on about 0.9 pounds of muscle, which coming off the holidays, it's pretty easy to do. I usually tell my clients, if you've had a lot of holiday eats, in a week or two of that, don't be too concerned, because once you get right back on, you'll start to see it come off. You'll start to see your body go back to where it is. If it's multiple weeks, okay, it's going to take a little bit more, but usually it's 3 to 4 days. If you've been more multiple weeks or even a couple months, then we're talking maybe 2-3 weeks before you start to see that happen. Don't sweat it. Just stick to what you've set for yourself, for your lifestyle, for those habits like we talked about last week, and you'll see your body start to get back. You might have to make some adjustments, some tweaks, things like that. That's what we're here for if you don't know how to do that. But ultimately, that's the encouragement for today. And in the context, it was a foundational reset. It wasn't oh my gosh, we're way down here and we need to get way back up here as far as progress. It was, we've gone off the path a little bit because we intentionally want to enjoy ourselves for the holidays. And this is just to get us back on target. And that is something to be excited about because although it's not necessarily a bunch of pounds of fat and all these, really eye-catching, eye-popping results, because I did my video, I don't really feel like I look any different between the start and the finish. I still there's a little bit more bloating, a little bit more fat than usual. Not my ideal, definitely not the 6-pack that I have on our page right now, for example. But it is the foundational reset I need to get myself going. And here's the cool things to be excited about when you're consistent. Now, consistency, I want to define that in the context of what we typically recommend to our clientele. And that's going to come in the form of 3 things. Number 1 is fitness. Ideally, at the very least, 2 days of strength training, 2 days of your favorite cardio or activity where you get your heart rate up. And I mean elevated heart rate. If you don't know where to start, aim for something that's maybe 30, 40 beats above what your resting heart rate is. If you don't know what your resting heart rate is, when you're watching TV and not moving, put these fingers right here on the carotid Count it out for 15 seconds, multiply by 4. That's roughly going to be, make sure you find a pulse. If there's not a pulse, then we got a problem. We need to find you a doctor ASAP. All right, so find that pulse, count it out, 15 seconds, multiply by 4. That's roughly going to be your resting heart rate. You got one of these bad boys, it should tell you roughly what your resting heart rate is. Okay, so that being said, 30, maybe 40 points above the resting heart rate, minimum 20 minutes for those 2 other days. You've got 2 strength training days, you've got 2 fun, elevated cardio days. That's your 4 days of exercise. The reason why I recommend 4 is that means you're doing it more times than you're not through the course of a week. You could schedule those all weekdays, enjoy Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would recommend trying to at least hit Fridays so you don't have no more than 2 days consecutively of rest, meaning you work out Friday and you're coming back on Monday, as an example. And that would be considered consistent. Now, if you do that 6 weeks in a row, you can check your box, I'm consistent. Ryan, 6 weeks? Yes. 2 to 3 weeks to start to see results, another 3 weeks, let's just say 3 weeks to get that in the repetition of doing it, another 3 weeks to really see some tangible results. You can notice a lot of different things happen in the course of 6 weeks. And that's for me to say, give yourself a chance. So we are saying from last week all the way to about mid-February is what's very valuable. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is nutrition. Only thing I care about right now is protein consistently. This is an everyday thing. Every day, even if you're taking a break from everything else. Protein is non-negotiable, carbs and fats. I want you to do the best you can during the week and then have a little bit of flexibility on the weekend. I know guys who absolutely love their beer and will not let it go no matter what, or wine or whatever. And so I encourage them, all right, have it on the weekends, have, 2, 3, whatever you need, and keep your carbs restricted through the week. You'll be a little bit more hungrier than usual. Don't get hangry, please. But enjoy those beers on the weekend so you can kind of balance out your carbs throughout the week. But ultimately, the protein is the key. So that being said, how much protein should I have? Let's say that we have somebody that is, the example is always one where it's like, tread softly. Don't upset anybody, Ryan. If you say a weight that might not be appropriate, well, I'm just going to say 150 pounds. We want 70% of your goal body weight. So let's say your goal body weight is 150. 70% of that number is going to be 105. I feel like I've used that analogy a lot. So let's say you're 200 pounds. That obviously means you're going to be 140. 70% of 100 would be 70. Double it at 200. 140 grams. Ryan, that is a ton of protein. Yeah, that's the amount of protein your body needs to survive, not thrive, survive. That is the recommended regular physicians, clinical, everything. That is the recommended amount. You need more if you're looking to build muscle tissue. You need more if you're looking to burn fat. I would start at the 70% marker. I currently am operating at a goal of about 225 calories, which is my body weight. 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. I was at 229, so I need to work my way back to 225, shave some fat, add some muscle back. That's where I'm currently at. A lot of people are like, holy crap. It's like, yeah, it's a lot of protein. How do you do that? Glad you asked. I'm here for you if you need that question. In fact, go ahead and drop protein in the comments. We can talk more about some simple ways to hit your number and not even think twice about it. All right, so that was number 1, fitness 4 times a week. Number 2, hitting that protein goal every week, again, 6 weeks to get that consistency check mark. Number 3 is tracking. Very important. Tracking is very important. Why do I say that? Well, I can actually tangibly say to you guys that I've been doing this for multiple months. I'd have to look back and see if we started in March or April last year. I forget exactly when. But we probably only missed maybe 3 weeks total, and those were holidays since then. And so I have something where I can go back and look and say, okay, I've hit all these weeks, every single week. Very grateful for that and the ability to say that. And I'm doing this because I want the consistency, because I want the content, because I'm going to eventually feed this to somebody else who's going to take all of this, chop it up, put it into small pieces, and start blasting it on our social media. I wish I could put it on TikTok, but apparently a week from today, it's going to be gone. Bummer. Love that format. It's a bummer what's happening with it, but at least we have Instagram and YouTube still available to us in the context of what we do. Short form content. This is not exactly short because I usually end up sitting here talking longer than 20 minutes. I'm going to try to keep myself at 15 today. But more or less, that is a goal for me for business. I've let you guys know on my channel on this conversation multiple times. That's my goal. So now not only do I have a consistent way to track it, as far as my metrics, I actually have built in some accountability too, meaning you guys are expecting me to be here and be talking about something related to health and fitness, which is what we do on this channel. This is what this Instagram profile, this YouTube channel is all about. How do I cultivate a lifestyle that's going to produce the life that I want to have, the energy, the strength, the lack of a 2 p.m. slump, where I'm barely hanging in there. I was talking to someone the other day who's like, I need to get after this. If I don't take care of my energy and strength and health, it's not looking good at 2 p.m. when I'm sitting on meetings with CEOs, with my higher ups. Like, I need to get this taken care of. So that is what consistency looks like. Those are the baselines. I try to keep it as simple as possible and manage very little as possible too, because you guys have busy lives already. You got kids, you got work, you got a lot going on. So we want to keep this as simple as possible for you and as straightforward as possible. I'll open it up since I have some active viewers here. If anybody has some questions, drop that in the comments for our live folks on both platforms. I think I only have someone live right now for Instagram. I don't know that I have anybody live with me currently. One watching now, that might be me actually watching myself. So I'm just going to say for my Instagram crew, if there's anybody with questions, go ahead and drop those. I'll wrap it up in 2 minutes. But ultimately, that's the beautiful thing now. Some bonus pieces for this would be, and I know usually there's a slight delay what you guys are saying versus what I'm saying. So I imagine you saying drop questions in the comments. We're just getting to you now. There are some bonus things you can do to make this even simpler. Plan to meet a friend at the gym, or plan to work out at your house or apartment gym or wherever you work out. Plan to do that with somebody. That really helps you get those 4 days in. If you've got a spouse, try to see if you can encourage them, if they aren't already a part of it with you. What's their goal nutritionally? Are they trying to eat more protein like yourself? Are they trying to do a bit better with their carbs and incorporate more greens and fruits and vegetables versus breads and pastas and other starches, if you will? As far as the accountability, anytime you tell someone what your goals are, as I was just sharing with you guys, ultimately they're going to want to know, like, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds by March. For example, we're going to finally go back to Mexico after a number of years. It's been since before COVID that my wife and I have gone, and we got an opportunity. Thank you to a friend, Stefan of ours, who gave us the stay portion, which we were really grateful for. Ultimately, we'll go and have some fun down in the sun, get my wife to a beach. She's from a coastal, a beach town originally, and so I gotta get her in the sun, right? So in that context, that means we gotta shave up a few more pounds. But that won't be a problem because we know exactly what to do. And so with that context, you add in this little component of doing this with someone else. I tell you this, I think it's actually more fun to do with somebody than anything else, and it actually makes it that much more enjoyable when you're sharing the process with somebody. Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, love the honesty about your 5-day reset. Yeah, I think yeah, and that's in the mail for you too, by the way, George. So I just dropped it off, and I'll mention that in our call. I want to be honest in the context that it is a great program, and it does establish one key piece: protein and fiber with consistency. I set my goal for somewhere between 200 grams to 225 grams a day for that program, and I hit it. And that's what was really important. And, let's say that I had not been working out, or I hadn't been really paying attention to my weight so much 3 months back. I know I had gained some pounds over the holidays, probably about 5 pounds or so. But if that was more like 25 pounds, then yeah, my results could have been 10 pounds over those 5 days. It's very possible. I believe the averages for the actual program were something like 2 to 3 pounds on average. It looked like they did a majority ladies. I didn't see anything related to men in the pilot study that they did for that. So the expectations aren't so high in the context of um, how many pounds of fat you'll lose, but it's more so in the context of setting that foundation. So long term, you have the body, the physique that you want. We get you into either a 10 to 20% fat range for men or a 15 to 25% body fat percentage for the ladies. Those are the averages for men and women. And once you're in that ideal space, it gets you down to one thing, and that is very effectively um, how does my body look? How does my body feel? And how does my body move? So look, feel, and move. And if you're checking those three boxes and enjoying it in those areas, then hey, we're good to go. We're in the right space. Thanks. Like you say, consistency will be key for me as well. Thanks for words. Yep, absolutely, George. My pleasure. And that's really what it is we don't have to have perfect days and we don't have to sprint. We just have to stay consistent. The body will shift. We'll keep making those tweaks and we're good to go. So I said 15 and 17. I can keep going forever, trying to get myself to just make these a little bit more succinct. My name is Ryan Sanders. This is Project Fresh, our company. This is our Monday Lunch Live. We do this every single week, Monday, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 11 California, 2 p.m. In New York. And if you happen to be joining us from, say, I don't know, Japan time, let's see what time it is in Japan, out of curiosity. I think I've done this before. It's 4 a.m. in Japan. Probably everyone's passing out or waking up. How about in Germany? Let's see what time it is in Germany. It's 8 p.m., so everybody's going to bed. All right, so I know London's what, like 8 hours or something? 7, so an hour behind. Yeah, so right now it's bedtime basically for everybody in the UK. So everybody who's listening from, we got one more joining us. Everybody's listening from Canada, from Mexico, from the States. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to go ahead and end this, and we'll see you guys on the next one. But today's focus was consistency. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Hope you have a great one, and enjoy your week. Take care and stay safe out there.